Apparently, others had the good sense to stay away today. Trees that lined this stretch of road swayed, buffeted by the force of the wind. Hugo's hands, inside brown leather gloves, were clumped around the steering wheel. He was trying to keep the car steady, keep it on the road, Mallory thought as the wind struck the sedan and the car veered off to the right. Just where the road was at this point was a guess. The thick snow clinging to the ground obliterated the road, and it was only the line of trees that provided orientation. With the road conditions as treacherous as they were, Mallory might not have to worry about what awaited her at the cabin. She had a more immediate worry that she might not make it out of the sedan alive. "We need to turn back," Mallory said. "We can't go on in this." "Hear that, Miles? Little Miss Fed's got something to say." Hugo met her gaze in the rear-view mirror and bared his yellow teeth in a smile that made the fine hairs on the back of Mallory's neck rise. "Save your breath for when we get you back to the cabin, sweetheart. You're gonna need it when you start screaming." Mallory wanted to come back with a smart retort, but Hugo's words struck home and her mouth went dry. Work the knot. Work the knot. She increased the pace on the ropes to a frenzy, twisting and pulling. Perspiration trickled down her brow while she shivered in the cold. Panic was setting in, and she was losing it. Losing it was the surest way to get herself killed. She forced herself to stop jerking frantically on the rope. Forced herself to fight back the panic clawing at her. Directing her focus to the task at hand, she went back to working the knot. Miles had disarmed her, but she could see her gun tucked into the waistband of his black pants. Once she freed her hands, done. She was panting like a racehorse. Adrenaline pumped through her. She would have only one chance to grab her gun. One chance. She blocked out the thought of what these two would do to her if she failed. She glanced at Miles. His attention was on the road. His shoulders hunched as he leaned forward, so he was now perched on the end of the seat, clasping the headrest of the unoccupied front passenger seat. "Slow down, will ya? I can't see nothing but snow." Miles' shout was barely audible above the wind. Mallory reached out to grab her gun. The sedan went into a spin. The world swirled crazily as the car whirled like a top. Her screams echoed with those of Miles and Hugo. The sedan struck something hard. Mallory was flung forward. The seatbelt cut across her chest, cutting off her breath but holding her in place. In a blur of movement, Miles was thrown to the front of the car and through the windshield. Windows shattered, peppering Mallory with slivers of glass. She screamed. She was dressed in jeans and a jacket which protected her body, but her head and face were bare. She swung her arms up and hunched her shoulders to protect herself from the spray of glass. The sedan crumpled. The crunch of metal blended with Hugo's pain-filled shrieks, and then there was silence. She'd been holding her breath. She released it in a rush, the sudden surge pounding in her ears. She was alive. She repeated that thought and took another breath. Pain radiated from her right arm, leg, and side. Her head hurt. When she lifted it from the seat back, her head swam and her vision grayed. The wind and snow blew through the shattered windows. The cold air and wet flakes that struck her face revived her. She blinked quickly and fought back the blackness. She wanted to get out of the car but was pinned by the front seat. The sedan had struck an outcropping of rocks and the front of the car had been pushed back on impact. Miles' body was crushed. There was no doubt that he was dead. Given what she'd learned of his involvement with the 12 women, she wouldn't regret his passing. Mallory shifted position carefully, testing how deeply she was wedged in. Not as tightly as she feared. Keeping her movements slow but steady, she raised her arm. She gasped at the pain that shot through her, but took heart in the fact that she was able to move her arm at all. Gritting her teeth, she levered up on her uninjured arm to free her lower body. Her breath shallowed and perspiration.